Should be good to go.
We're rolling, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Greetings, everyone, and welcome to Homebrew, and welcome back to our season campaign of Taking Root, here with Sarah playing the character Emery in our Duet, where one DM and one player struggle to make a story together. And currently we're working on the origin story of Emery before the Hunger campaign that starts here coming up in June. Currently, as we left off, let's set back into the world of dwelling. Emery had just put her toe for the first time into the city of Holdenford, a metropolis to the undead and all things dark and arcane. And unfortunately, she came on ill tidings on a Twillet day. One that is cast with a day that is cast with constant twilight, but means something specific to the denizens of Holdenford. She found out that it was pretty much a day where the lure of the land was put on hiatus. However, the laws of etiquette and chivalry were not. So basically, it allowed creatures that need to eat flesh to go and run around and take care of business, so to speak. However, they couldn't enter people's houses and rip them to pieces and stuff like that, right? So they still had to obey the laws of chivalry.
And I ran.
Yeah, you did. But you managed to get guest rights in a local smokehouse named Gertrude's Salon, where you were fortunate enough to, one, have enough money to get to stay the night there and wait until calmer tides floweth through the streets of of Holdenford. But you also managed to meet up with a couple of people who managed to give you some useful information. Couple of which, so I know that you met up with, let's see here, there was Ryan the Skeleton, who managed to tell you a little bit about the Iron Cathedral, and to seek more information from there if you're looking for things about Ephemeria. Mm-hmm. You met up with a dwarf named Dietrich, who helped give you a little bit of the lay of the land as well. You met up with a ship captain, a gnoll by the name of Osaya, and managed to get a couple of coin by singing for the likes of the guests of Gertrude as well. As the next day moved on, you found yourself moseying on over to the Iron Cathedral, where you met up with a fiery-haired Leonin named Tywin, who had told you that he probably could get you some information on Ephemeria, if only you had enough coin, 1 gold, in order to pay for that.
So I need 1 gold for that, and 1 gold for the ship fare each.
2 gold total, to be able to get passage or guest rights on the boat to Lemoore.
Yeah.
Additionally, you had Archek talk to Penelope while you were there, because there's different waiting lines, so to speak, and he managed to get information on how to make that coin in town. Penelope gave him the quest of hunting down the Hounds of Reclamation, who were suspected to have taken root somewhere in town or nearby, specifically because there were some undead who were going missing, right? Getting re-deaded.
Yeah.
And so they scoured the town. They couldn't find much, but they said, hey, you know what? The forest is nearby, so we could probably use someone who could, head out that way and take a look. We do have one lead, which was there was a man destined for the stockade and for the a short drop and a sudden stop, right? But had enough money to be able to purchase rights to become undead himself at the point of execution, and it seemed that someone had thwarted him by killing him in his prison cell while he awaited his execution, depriving him of the rights that would have let him stick around on this world. So you investigated one of the donjons and came across a couple of guards who you talked to, and found out that there was a little bit of some trade going on in the prison cells, right? So they had been smuggling items in for people, or basically been getting payoffs. But also, it sounded like someone else, maybe the Thieves Guild, could have been involved with that too, because there was an alternate route that which supplies were being sent up to Nellet. You confirm this because none of the guards were getting paid by Nellet, and yet there was someone below Nellet's cell that confirmed that there was someone, Leonin, in fact, that was constantly climbing up past this window and providing material goods that you found in Nellet's room, as well as it looked like a piece of piece of cloth or something like that hanging from a spike outside the window, as well as a cloth bag inside the room, potentially being the bags used to bring supplies in. So
one can assume.
Yeah. So the next stop was to maybe go talk to Penelope, see what she knows about the Thieves Guild, or ask around, see if you can pick up a trace, because if someone wanted Tywin dead, and assuming it was the Hansa Reclamation, then whoever was bringing them supplies, your hunch was that they were the ones who were either killed them out of their personal reasons or whatever. So that is where we left off. So you leave the donjon, and it is about it's probably about 11 o'clock in the morning still. What do you do?
I think we're gonna head on over to the back to the Vigor Mortis at the Iron Cathedral.
Okay. So you head back to Vigor Mortis, and you gonna go look to talk to Penelope, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never actually talked to her myself either, so I think it'd be prudent to hop on over.
Okay. So going back into, we got two different songs going here. 1 second.
Ooh, chaos.
I know. Sometimes Tabletop Audio Jukebox, Roll20 Jukebox doesn't like us. Let's see if I can get it to stop.
Just wanted dual ambiance.
Yeah, I guess we're sticking with the soundtrack for now. We'll see if it goes away. Anyways.
That's fine. It's pretty quiet on the thing anyway.
Yeah. So going back to the Iron Cathedral and worming your way through the streets, you come across some unsightly figures that make your heart race, right? Tall, lumbering 8-foot figures that seem to have a unearthly gait to their demeanor, or other figures that seem to pass through walls entirely. And amongst them are what seems to be the desensitized masses of the denizens of Holdenford. As you proceed towards the cathedral, you have to pass through the zombie gates.
Yeah.
And back in through the triple great doors, where you are met by, once again, a gaunt, dark-skinned man with a grisly, patchy scruff of facial hair. Painstakingly putting down everyone who's yelling at him, whispering at him, requesting from him their what they need, and you see him robotically going through his books and dispatching them to where they need to go. And shortly enough, your time in the line comes to an end. You're back.
This is Penelope.
Have you found... No, this is the older gentleman, the administrative guy.
Sorry.
From before.
I was like, this is not a voice for Penelope. All right.
Is it that you found coin to talk to Mr. Tywin again, or are you already finished with the ventures that Penelope has sent you on?
We were hoping to touch base with Penelope again, actually. Got a little bit more intel. Just wanted to check in.
Very well. She does lunch from 11 to 1, but you're welcome to wait.
Oh, well, I wouldn't want to disturb anyone's lunch. Sure. Wait.
So you wait the 2 hours?
I'm gonna sit off to the side and talk to Art for a sec.
Okay.
Art check.
All right. Yeah, you find there's a couple of there's like a whole bunch of not bleachers. The church
benches
aisles.
and stuff.
Yeah. Whatever the word is. I'm spacing on it.
Benches. It's fine.
Yeah, benches. There you go. Let's just do that. You find a couple that are available that you can mosey on to.
Hey Art, I've been meaning to ask you this anyway, and maybe now's a good time. So I made these traps here, and I was thinking as I was making these the other day that what you had shown me with that vine earlier, I was wondering if we could, do something with this as well. I made these bolas out of, semi-living compartments, vines, things like that. Is there any way to, convince this to do something for me?
Indeed, he looks it up and down. There's still enough organic material here, and that you might coax it into thinking it is something else, giving it a desire of its own, or of your own.
Okay.
Maybe we find a quiet spot and hunker down so we can still your mind. That way you may focus truly. He kind of looks around, and there's a couple
Alcoves.
alcoves. Thank you. There's a couple of alcoves, and he goes, "That one with the candles. It'd do well to center yourself."
Okay. I just wanted to, I remember how we were getting chased earlier, and would have been nice to just slow them down for a bit. All I really want to do is convince this vine to hold on tighter, wrap around and
It is
not
important.
let someone chase.
It is important for it to be with such a simple organism as this. It is important to exert your will, but specifically with intent, not just to cling, but to cling onto whom. It must know that there is a whom to cling. It must know that its purpose is not to tighten, but to capture. And you guys go to the alcove, and he continues to coach you a little bit on this. Give me your magic check.
All right. 8 plus 1. Okay. I got 2 success and 6 advantage.
Okay, so it takes you a little bit of time, and at first it doesn't do anything. But Archek consoles you, and he goes, "Try again." And as you try again, he starts putting out a candle, and you try again, and you're really trying to will this, and it's taxing you. And he says again, and he puts out another candle, again, and another candle, and over time, suddenly you forget that the room is there at all, and part of you feels like something leaves your body, almost like as if you're in a moment of trance, and you forget what you were doing entirely. And Archek looks at you and goes, "Good. You may respond.
I don't know what to say at this.
So at this point, you're kneeling down in front of your trap that you have. And do you have any questions for me?
I don't think so. Sorry, I'm just not sure what I'm supposed to say at this point.
So, okay. No, it's okay. I was looking to see if you would ask me if it worked, or ask me if, ask him, or something along those lines.
I thought you just said it didn't work.
Yep, but hours have gone by now.
Okay.
At first, and you've been trying and trying and trying, and then he says to you, after you've been in a trance for a bit, and you forgot entirely what you were doing, he says, "Good, good."
Okay. I look down and see.
Okay.
If anything's changed.
As you look down at the trap, it doesn't look any different. He goes, sorry, actually, he's not going to say anything. He's examining you while you're...
I touch it. Like...
Okay. Now, you armed this trap, right?
I was trying to.
Okay. So, I mean...
I don't know if I did.
So, your trap was... Mechanically, it's still a trap. Like a trap's a trap.
It's a bola.
It's a bola. Okay.
So it's not like you arm
Gotcha.
a bola, like
Yep.
It's throw. But I'm trying to make it hold ensnare somebody longer.
Okay. So you know what? Just for thematic purposes here, the as you go to touch the trap, nothing happens. But then someone else comes over. One of the attendants of this place goes, excuse me, but we actually need those lights on. And then the bola whips up off of the ground and coils around his legs. Ah! And he falls over. RJ goes, it's okay, don't be alarmed. And he reaches down and he touches it for a moment, and it goes inert off of his legs.
I'm so sorry.
It's just, can you light those candles, please? And he gets up.
Of course, sorry. I guess it worked.
Archek looks back at you. When you give part of your sentience to something else, it truly does leave you. You imbued it with the ability to want to act. And so what this basically means is that you learn the ability to make a sentient trap, right? So it will not make a trap from nothing, but if you have a trap, it'll make it one. The trap, let me just read it off here. Infuse an organic trap with the following. It becomes sentient and will detonate when someone tries to disarm or circumnavigate it.
Okay. It
increases the difficulty of those actions by the number of success and of detection by a number of advantage to your check. So it's an easy check. So you'd roll your magic check on your trap, and then it would become harder to detect the trap, and then also it would be say if your trap has hard difficulty to disarm. Well, if you got 3 net success in your thing, now it would be 6 purple dice to disarm it instead of 3 purple dice to disarm it. And same thing with identifying it. The advantage would increase the difficulty of that. And if someone's not trying to disarm it, but trying to jump over it, same thing here. If it was an easy check to jump over your bear trap, now the bear trap's going to literally jump up off the ground and grab at him. So it's going to be difficulty. It's going to be increased based off of the difficulty of that. So
cool.
That being
Very
said,
cool.
Nets and bolas, when thrown, is a ranged weapon. It is not a trap.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's fine. That's fair. Very cool. So that's a spell for me.
Yes. and I can just copy that over to... Yeah, do you have a slide for that on your sheets?
You can just... Yeah, I do. Otherwise, you can just put it in the Roll20 chat.
That probably won't have the right formatting.
Gotcha. There you go. I got it. I sent it to you, the link to the MS sheets.
Oh, thanks. One thing I didn't have.
No problem.
Magic and crafting. There we go. And I'm just going to refresh my Roll20 since I'm having problems with my audio.
Okay. Mine looks like it's playing one song.
You know what? I'm just going to delete this song. Maybe that'll do it. There we go.
Oh. Weird.
Okay. So, at this point, Archek looks over you and goes, "We should probably go back and talk to the headmaster over there. It's been a while."
Yeah, good idea. Sorry, I got kind of carried away there. Don't know where my head's at.
That's part of the nature of communing with the Potentia. But you're picking on quite well. It tends to be even harder in a place like this.
I guess it worked for me anyways. Hopefully it gets quicker though. How long has it been? And I kind of, is it past the 2-hour mark at this point?
No, it's like an hour 47, something like that, you know. You still got plenty of time.
All right. Yeah, so we'll go back up to the desk, and unless we would have been able to see whether or not she came back from lunch yet.
Nah, yeah. So you go up and talk to him, and he gestures towards the back right, a hall that you guys can go down. And so Archek leads the way, and through this iron structure, the big doors at the end leading into the next hall, remarkably don't creak or groan as they're opened. And he leads you back, and a couple of rooms down on the right side after you get into the hall is another set of doors. And right next to the door, sorry, it's a single door. Right next to the door is a bronze plaque that has Penelope's name on it. And what do you do?
Knock, knock, knock.
You hear some shuffling noises inside. Come in.
Oh, I'm so sorry to disturb you. We're hoping you'd be wrapped up. We can wait.
No, don't mind me. Come in.
Yeah, sure, of course. And I kind of scurry in.
Okay. As you do, there is what you see is a dimly lit room with fine mahogany furniture and a big, sturdy desk set to your left. On your right is a series of bookshelves, and there are 4 chairs set in front of the large desk, and behind it you see a figure that is backlit by 2 hanging braziers. And what you see is a large figure about the shape of a turnip with scraggly gray, you can't even tell the color of the hair, but scraggly hair that goes down to just longer than shoulder length. As the figure turns, they huck something, like roll something behind them as they lick their fingers, and their face reminds me of Kugath Plaguefather. Like gnarly, chipped teeth with big old gaps and this huge grin as she's like, ugh.
And she's a massive turnip, huh?
She's not a turnip, but she is shaped like a turnip. Looking over at this person, you notice right away, actually you notice the smell. The smell is the first thing that hits you in this room. It is...
Like lilacs and dandelions?
From hell. Yes. It is sickly sweet in here. But with like a sourness to it that makes you nauseous. And the figure you can see now is in like almost like something a cross between a dress and an apron. So it covers up their chest, but it's tied in the back. So you can see that it's, as they turn around, it still covers up the front of them, but it leaves their arms with freedom of movement. And the desk comes up to just about lap high, so about like just over the knees, so to speak. Mm-hmm. And he kind of hunched over this table. Oh, nice to see you again, Archek. I see you've brought your friend.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Penelope. She reaches her gigantic hand over towards yours.
Oh yeah, I go in for a hearty handshake.
She cups yours, and it's soft. Her handshake is soft and cold.
Oh, I back off on how firmly I went in for that handshake.
It's a soft hand. It's a cold hand, and you feel it envelop yours with this like soft pillow-esque feel to it. But it's cold, and as you pull your hand out, it's a bit closer to the texture of a fish. And it's like almost a bit of a slime to it as you pull free. And what you see down to your hand is that it's not
handshake ever.
Right? It's not entirely wet. It's more viscous, and part of the skin comes off on your hand.
I try my hardest not to look disgusted.
Give me a discipline check. Actually, you can do a charm or a cool check too.
I'll do a charm check. I'm just trying to be polite. Oops, sorry. 1 and 3.
Okay. Yeah, you managed to keep your composure.
All right. My name's Emery, and you already met Archek. Thanks for giving us this gig.
Why, of course. Thanks for looking out for us.
So we went to the dungeon, and we found out some information, but I don't know. I have some questions for you as well. I don't know if you have much time.
I'm a busy woman, but anything to get the job done and over with.
Okay.
These hounds are, if we didn't have time to deal with them, they would just be running all over us.
Yeah.
At this point, you see that the thing that she tossed over her shoulder, what looks to be like discarded ostrich eggs, with like that are cracked open. You start to notice they're skulls that have they look like smashed eggs in the corner, so to speak.
Like what size?
Humanoid sized.
Oh, okay. All right. Good to know. I'll just put that in my back pocket to mull over later.
I don't think you want to mull on that.
Yep. Okay. Way to totally side rail what I was thinking.
Sorry, I figured it was important to get the context. The dim brazier lighting, the smell,
Yeah.
the slime.
Yeah, let's just say Emery's kind of ill at ease at this point. Where was I? So you were talking about the hounds. Now, I couldn't help but wonder what made you think this murder was associated with the hounds. This guy sounds like he wasn't well liked, and he wasn't necessarily a good man. What makes you think it wasn't just somebody who had a vendetta against him or something like that?
It absolutely could be. That's quite frankly one of the problems with this particular kind of case, isn't it? You see, us undead have had a bad rap, and some of that is because of the nature, our predatory nature. And the hounds unfortunately get a lot of support. But what we do know is that when it comes to their MO, this guy fits their ticket quite well. He could be fitting other people's tickets quite well too, but that could be said for a lot of the folks the Hounds of Reclamation go for.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, not all of their victims are bad eggs.
Oh yeah, of course. And like what I would say is, as long as those skulls are ethically sourced, no problem. No problem at all, right?
We don't worry about all of these are contractually applied for.
Contractually applied for. I'm sorry. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Like, am I allowed to ask? Is it rude?
Please, any way that we can help enlighten the folks about our true natures and the ways that we can live in harmony is a definite boon to our kind. But I would ask you to talk to Azalea, one of our public resource reps, because that is right up their alley. However, I run on a little bit of a time crunch here. Is there something specific I can help you get to the end of your goals here?
Absolutely. So, we went to the prison. We found out that... I'm sorry, what was the guy's name? I'm trying to...
Nellet.
Okay. I need to, bold his name in my notes. We found out that Nellet had been getting some goods procured to him in the prison, and not from the guards, but actually someone was climbing up and down the dungeon wall and giving him goods through the window, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And it was suggested to us that it could be a member of the Thieves Guild.
The Tailors. The Tailors are a rather large presence within Holdenford. And I'd have to say that we've had our dealings with them in the past, and it is not necessarily always the smoothest.
Do you know where we might be able to find them, talk to them?
Well, they wouldn't be very good thieves if they were so easily found, especially by folks with a political and administrative interest in this town, would you say?
Yeah.
That being said, there are a few ways I've heard that you could get potentially a hold of them. Now, you're going to probably want to talk to Sebastian. Sebastian is one of our logistics officers.
Wait. Sebastian? No, that was Bertrand's salon. Never mind. Sorry. I don't think I've met a Sebastian yet.
You know what? He typically doesn't come out of the office too much. He lets his folks do that for him. But Sebastian, he's a knobbly old codger. And don't let that get underneath your skin. He means well. Just assume that all of the curses that he's saying is some sort of inner monologue, all right?
Fair enough. Do you mind if I ask you a couple more questions before we run off to Sebastian?
Sure, go ahead.
Was there anything about this case that, that made you tie a link, that made you think it was the Hound, something that's similar in some of these other disappearances that have come across that kind of flagged you?
Well, the first thought that comes to my mind is that it would have been awfully hard for a common person to be able to execute someone in a prison cell. And, if you're thinking about the tailors, that stuff doesn't go for nothing, too. So it would be someone with a bit of a clout in order to do that. And, quite frankly, if it was someone who was well-to-do, us here at Vigor Mortis probably be familiar with them, and if it was someone within our ranks, they would probably know how to deal with them after the fact of them becoming undead too, so they wouldn't be in such a rush. But as you said, it could definitely be someone else. There's been a lot of kidnappings too. However, it's a tough call.
Okay. And what exactly was the crime that put him directly in the jail cell? Was there a certain victim, so to speak, of the last crime?
The most recent?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. You see, this is one of those getting into the protected source sort of things. We could talk about it. Unfortunately, they were a victim of physical and sexual abuse, and they've kind of been through a lot. But if you need their name,
I think we might need their name. Just if this other avenue doesn't hold true or have any facts, at least we would know. Or if perhaps their name came up, at least then we would know.
Sure. Let me look through my notes. And she kind of opens up. So she actually stands up and you hear from her chair, and she kind of slowly lumbers back past you towards the great library shelves and kind of filters through them and finds a folder and pulls it out and kind of slowly goes back down and sets it down in front of her, opening it up. Gwendolyn's her name. It looks like she lives on Ferding Avenue. It's right between the Mallet Brothers Taylor and blue outside walls.
Okay.
Looks like primary contact was not Gwendolyn. It was actually Rashad. I got here that he's the brother of Gwendolyn.
Okay. And does he live at the same address?
I would certainly assume so. I don't have a second address listed.
That more than enough information. I really appreciate it. We will try not to, to get any sore wounds if we, don't have to.
All right. Well, you guys take care and say hi to Sebastian for me.
Thank you. Let me just double check. I had some questions written down. Be sure to ask.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that kind of covered what I had. All right. Yeah. We'll let her finish her meal in peace. And step into take a nice deep breath when we make it out to the hallway.
As you guys go out, there's another couple of people waiting to go in, and you hear Penelope go, come in to the next group, and You slowly show yourself out. Where do you go from here?
Sebastian.
Okay, so you got to check in with the headmaster from before, and he politely tells you, Sebastian. Hello. Who are you to see now? Are you on your way out?
To Sebastian this time, actually.
No.
How's your day been?
Same as every other, I suppose. The sun rises and the sun sets.
That's fair. And how about that weather, huh?
I wouldn't know. I don't go outside.
Okay. Yeah.
And I also can't feel most of my skin.
Oh. Okay. Great. Yeah. So Sebastian.
His line is a little long right now. He's actually going to be probably a couple of hours if you can wait.
Another couple of hours. Is there a thing where we could there's probably not take a ticket and. Is there a time when he's less busy?
As a logistics officer, he has to deal with some complicated questions, and he sequesters personal time to be able to root out the different intricacies of the requests made by him and allocate those to his inferiors.
That was a lot of words.
No.
Thank you. We'll wait.
All right. Please have a seat in the 6th row of bleachers. Bleachers, piers, benches, whatever you want to call them. And when the door on the left...
Pews.
Pew, thank you. There we go. When the door on the left side of the altar opens, you're going to go in. There is a staircase on the left-hand side. You're going to go to the 2nd floor. It's the 3rd room on the right.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. You have a lovely day.
May night fall upon you as well.
They like night here, right? I kind of say that to Art.
Archik goes, I don't think it was an insult.
Okay, yeah. No, of course it wasn't an insult. No, everyone's been pretty nice so far now that it's not Duet. Yeah. Okay, so once again we're waiting in line, right? So I'm going to talk to Art again.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
No, Art, you had said something about trying to keep the connection with my brother strong, and well, is there any way to do that now? I just hate sitting around here just waiting in line. I've never had to wait in line to talk to somebody before. This is absurd. Is this what it's like in all the cities?
I wouldn't know. I haven't tried to get involved with city infrastructure before. Looks around. Buildings bigger than one floor tends to make me nauseous.
Yeah, I agree. The trees should really be the tallest thing there,
How do they ensure it doesn't fall?
Seems a bit
He looks over.
unnecessary.
Emery, if you try to get some rest and fall into a sleep, reach out to your brother. I will do what I can from this side to help abridge and connect you with him.
Oh, pretty sure I can fall asleep anywhere. You wouldn't mind?
No. This isn't necessary. We didn't do this last night. In fact, it's getting a bit late.
Oh, why did you have to stay? Do you know how hard it is to sleep when you're nervous?
I understand.
Just gonna try to sleep as hard as I can. It's one of those oh, can I do it now? I'm no, you have to get to sleep. Oh, thanks a lot, Artie.
He looks at you and goes, try this. Your nervous energy that you have, think about channeling it and invoking it, similar to how you did willing the trap and transferring your own energy into it. Sit, let's try this.
Okay. Okay. All right. Kind of like get into a. I wouldn't say. I'd say a comfy position. You know, like I'm trying to meditate, but.
Okay. And he goes, now focus on me. Focus on willing me to act. Focus on all of that pent up energy in your fears and your desires and your strengths and channel it. And then push it out away from you. And go ahead and give me another one of your magic checks.
Okay. Oh, look at that. Got 4 success, 3 advantage.
Okay. So remember to take 2 strain each time you cast a spell. And that last one, I'm going to have you take 2 additional strain.
Yeah. I meant to ask you about that, and then I got distracted by the narrative.
Okay. So you start clearing your mind once again. Sorry, not even clearing your mind. Honing your mind, specifically in onto this big ball of what's happened to you every day since basically since meeting Archek and Bronton, and all of the nervous energy that it's caused you, and you think about thinking how much your mind's racing and how you just can't get it quieted, right? And all the decisions,
energy up.
Yep, and you push it all into this concentrated ball, right? Everything, absolutely everything. And as you push it out, you fall asleep.
All right.
And you wake up on a patch of dirt. And you feel yourself come to consciousness once again. And the first thing that you notice is the feeling of a dirt surface, a hard dirt surface underneath of you. A hard, dry dirt surface as your hands can feel the granularity of the sandy soil.
Okay, I open my eyes and kind of look around.
And you can see that the ground stretches on into a fog that is of a what's the word I'm looking for? The color of magic. Darn it.
Octarine.
Yeah, an octarine fog. A purplish, violetish, bluish, somehow backlit surrounding about you. The sky stretching off into the distance, the same in every direction.
Ollie? Oliver?
And as you go to turn around, you feel, I got you from behind.
Oh!
And you see as that happens, so you feel the warm breath of Ollie's, we feel Ollie's warm breath on your neck, and see the familiar hands on your arms.
You scared me.
Well, whenever I get a chance, right?
Fair enough. How have you been? This is not someplace I've ever been before.
I've been scared myself, Em.
I'm sorry.
I don't know what this place is. And I don't know when I am. Is this a dream?
Something like that, I think. I'm not quite sure I know myself.
I've been so lost. I forget. He stops, staring. I forget who I am. I forget home.
Ollie, do you remember, I don't know how many years ago it was at this point, but do you remember that little trio of squirrels that had nested up in our house.
Yeah, the ones with the really big tails.
Yeah, what were their names again? This is me like semi-checking. You know, like checking both his memory and like that it's Ollie and you know.
Okay. He goes, he kind of. Well, there was Walnut, the really big one. That, you know, he at least deserved to have that tail. He needed it to keep himself from falling off of the branches. I just remember Walnut.
Is that name? You can say that name.
This is,
okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to. I'm just making sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, Walnut. And I think there was Scritch. You know, because he liked the scritches.
Oh.
He was kind of scraggly. Like he was a little thin, but.
Oh.
Yeah, and to be honest, I'm not sure I remember the third one's name either. If it makes you feel any better.
Thanks, sister.
Can I ask you something, Ollie?
You can ask me anything, Ems.
Do you want to come back with me if you could? I don't want to hold you somewhere you don't want to be, but I miss you terribly, and not to guilt you in. What do you want?
I don't want to go anywhere without you, Ems. This is the happiest I've felt as long as I can remember. I miss this.
I'm gonna do everything I can to get you back with me all the time. We'll get back together. And if you can just hold out for me, wait a little while longer in this place, I'll come visit as often as I can.
It's hard. I feel like every tap of my foot moves me. Every hum changes my voice and I lose it. I'm sitting in a void and every motion carries me away somewhere else.
Just stay strong a little while, brother. Here, and I pull out like a bauble from my hair. It's like a strand of beads.
Okay.
Just if you're ever starting to feel like your memory's drifting, remember me, and I kind of like put it in his hand. I promise.
Give me a magic check. What is your magic these days? It's witchcraft?
Witchcraft, yep. Oh gosh, I wanted to upgrade the check.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Reroll the whole thing.
Yeah, I'll just do a whole thing, and I was going to spend a story point for this.
Time.
I've been saving them for this.
Yep.
And then I'm just being an idiot. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I got 5 success and 1 advantage. Okay. So well worth.
So the bauble that you hand him you said it's a string of beads?
Yeah.
Is that correct? Okay. What
like
color?
Just pretty glass-esque beads of like, you know, like the like where they mix colors together and like.
Oh yeah, like blown
the
glass.
marbled, you know.
Yeah, like marbles, right? Like okay, cool.
Yeah. Of just various colors. Just because she thought they were pretty.
Yeah. Okay. So they feel real in your hand as you pass them over to him, and he looks at them, and kind of closes his eyes and holds them and pulls them up and smells them. And he goes in for another hug. He goes,
hug him so tight.
Don't go. I love you, sister.
I love you too. I'll come back as often as I can, and I'm trying to find a way to bring you back with me.
Thank you. And with that, slowly you hear, Emery, 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 and the dream shakes away.
No.
Take 2 strain for casting magic again.
Alright. Not a restful sleep.
He looks down at you. It's time, Emery. Sebastian's waiting.
I felt something. When I was in there, I felt like I did something, shifted something, and I go and I touch my hair to see if like the beads are still.
They're still there.
I almost thought these wouldn't be here. I gave them to Holly.
To bring something from the Potentia to our world is a far different trick than to bring our world to theirs. For their world is not material. It is a space not meant to be stood on.
There's nothing I can do to bring him back here so he could be here with us right now.
Not right now, no. I mean, there is. There is a way. A small way, and it will help him. Well, it'll take some time, but we can attempt to call him and infuse something temporarily for him. It'll be like a dream for him. Here.
I'm worried about him slipping away. Anything we can do to make the reality more real for him for a bit longer.
Having time indwelling will certainly help anchor him and keep him from slipping, or at least slow the process.
Okay. If they keep making us wait in lines, we're going to have more time anyway. God, I hope this gold is worth it and gets us there quicker.
We should practice in the woods soon.
Okay.
And try smaller creatures first. Simpler creatures. Bugs, birds, bees. And if you can call their spirits forth and work our way.
Okay.
Do not attempt to summon a spirit that you do not know intimately, unless it is something so simple like a bird or a bug. There are grave consequences if you do otherwise.
Okay.
No pun intended.
Fair. Alright, now we'll go talk to Sebastian. Is it Sebastian de Paul?
Nope.
Okay. How did you get all the way over here?
Yeah, where was he? Which one was that? Oh, no, that's Sebastian. That's the dead guy, right?
Sebastian de Paul is the guy, the wizard that we killed in the other campaign.
Yeah.
So I was like, is this actually undead? Don't tell Austin that the magician is not dead. Because I have a feeling.
So, going up to the room, you see that the door is slightly cracked. What do you do?
I knock again.
Okay.
Hello?
What do you want?
Oh, I'm sorry. We were hoping to ask you some questions. If now's not a good time, I mean.
Is that the question?
No.
Oh, what in the blazes?
Wow.
Well, don't beat around the bush. Get on with it.
Oh.
And open that door so I can see your face.
Okay.
As you push the door open, there is a small, diminutive orc sitting in a chair much too big for him. And he seems to have like that the crown of hair, like the horseshoe of hair with like, and then it comes up like a little bit down the center here, so to speak. So it's like a horseshoe with a small little tongue of hair on the top.
Yeah. Nice. Okay.
And he looks up and he's almost got like what I would consider to be like officer's garb. It almost reminds me of like the admirals of the Sith fleets or something like that. Like just very clean cut suit almost sort of look.
Yeah. Okay. Get right to the point. We need to find the tailors. Or
The tailors?
Like the Thieves Guild, not like tailors for the clothes, you know.
You're looking for the thieves. The ones conniving and taking our shit all the time.
Yes, and occasionally delivering shit to prisoners who then show up dead.
Yes. Yeah, they do favors for folks. And they got a purpose in the world. Yes. Now, what exactly you're looking for them? Why are you here at the Iron Cathedral?
We're taking a job. We took a job for Penelope to investigate a murder of Nellet.
Yeah, you're looking. Yeah, okay, gotcha. You're looking specifically into the situation with the hounds. The hounds, right?
Yes.
Okay, and you think that the hounds and the thieves are working together?
Well, I'm not sure about that yet. That seems like quite a jump. But we think that he was killed by whoever it was that was delivering him counterfeit goods through his window. He was then stabbed before he could turn undead, so to speak, pass on to his next life. So we have reason to believe that's a valid lead as to exactly.
And you see that he's been scribbling this whole time. He goes, "This is what you need." He slaps it on the table. He goes, "I don't know which one works or which ones are outdated, but one of these items might be able to get into connection with the tailors. If they don't work, well, fuck me. All right, I'll have to send someone else on it and be able to make this a special request, and that could take days or weeks. But from a hunch, these are some of the items that we used historically, or that at least have been good leads in the past."
I take a look at it.
Okay, so he's written down 3 different leads for you for contact the tailors. Anyways,
Okay.
the first one is walk around the square, asking if anyone has seen your hedgehog.
Okay.
Someone should come along and ask if the hedgehog will prick you. And you need to say back, "Not when handled carefully."
Okay.
Option number 2 is go to the market and find the tent with no cover.
Okay.
Ask to rent an umbrella for 2.
Okay.
They should give you a single umbrella and tell you where to go from there.
Okay.
And option number 3. Take a stick and run it along the outer walls of Holdenford, which are those giant iron stakes.
Okay.
Eventually, you will come across a couple that make a series of hollow tones to them.
Okay.
There will be a high, a low, and a mid tone. Play the beat: high, low, low, high, low, low.
High, low, low, high, low, low.
Yep.
All right.
Then pull on the middle tone one. It should be hollow.
Okay.
Drop a letter down in there with a favor written on it, as well as your description.
Okay.
Then go wait in a public place.
Okay. This definitely doesn't seem like some elaborate ploy for me to waste my time. Oh, thank you. These are almost kind of fun. I kind of like look at him like hoping for some sort of
Give me some sort of what?
like happy response back, you know?
Give me a charm check.
3.
3 success.
Mm-hmm.
And you see it like the corner of his lip kind of curl up and goes, "Well, don't lose your head while you're out there, okay? They're actually pretty dangerous, okay? You're gonna look after this one, right?" He kind of gestures towards Artie, and he goes, "Don't worry. We know that the world is a dangerous place, but yeah, I kind of gotta take the good with the bad." Goes, "I suppose. Shut the door on your way out, will you?"
Yes, of course. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Yeah. So we head on out.
And
Okay.
whereabouts, is the cathedral in relation to, the 3 places mentioned?
Well, the cathedral's pretty close to the town square.
Okay.
But it's the Holy District, and it's probably 10 minutes from the town square, and the town square is probably 10 minutes from the market.
Okay.
There's several different areas. The square is got more of a setup for like hangings and announcements and stuff like that, whereas the market has way more used space
Okay.
regularly.
And how far is the outer gate?
The outer gate's probably a 30-minute walk in any given direction.
Okay. So we'll just
Or
head
so.
we'll head to the closest one first. We'll just go to the square, right?
Okay. Yep.
So, we'll ask for directions if we need it to find them. I don't know if we've been to the square or not yet. So
Oh, you're fine.
okay.
Yeah, give me a streetwise check.
Do I have a 3 in cunning? I actually do. All right, that is 3 success.
Yeah, you make your way to the town square. No problem.
All right. And then I go up to the first person that I see.
Okay. There's a woman in a tailored outfit who just looks skeletal. Like normal human skeletal. Like really, really, really thin. And she's got her hair all done up, and she's got a heavily powdered face.
Hi. Have you seen my hedgehog?
Oh, young woman, that is quite the thing to ask a lady.
What do you? What?
I,
Oh, have you seen my hedgehogs?
no, I have not. I don't associate with rodents.
Well, that is quite rude. Hedgehogs are a delight. And I just walk and move to the next.
Okay, give me a streetwise check.
1 success and 4 advantage.
Okay, so you're gonna continue to squawk and
Oh yeah.
whatnot.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I'm asking around for hedgehogs to anybody.
How long would you like to do this for?
20 minutes.
Okay. After 20 minutes, you starts to exhaust some of the people who are clearly have business there, and you have to move in on the people who are just passing through.
Yeah.
It's still no one has seen your hedgehogs, nor have they ever heard of someone looking for hedgehogs.
Well, Artie, maybe my hedgehogs aren't here. Just a little too loud.
Archie goes, Emery, you didn't actually bring hedgehogs.
Maybe my hedgehogs are in the market.
Okay, but they said the square. Maybe we want to find an umbrella because it's raining soon.
Yeah, you're right. It does look like it's raining soon. And just like robotically walk off like the worst actors in the world.
All right.
All right. Now off to go to the market.
Okay. So you head on out toward the market, and now it's probably about, so it's 11, so it's 2, so it's probably 3 o'clock.
Okay.
And market's bumping at 3.
Yeah.
Lots of people elbow to elbow. And, it's one of those things where this is an interesting experience for your character, because there is a smorgasbord of dwarves and orcs and things that bump in the night walking through. There's some ratting. There's a couple leonin. There's a gnoll here and there. Some orcs who are, busy plying their trade. Humans. Whoa.
Don't see many of those.
So, are you looking for anything in particular? What are you doing?
Well, first off, just kind of like amazed and awed by the chaos around me. So I'm a little daunted or distracted by that at first, but then kind of like, okay, tent with no cover, and I start looking for that.
Okay, what are you looking for specifically? There's a lot of different merchant stands, and there's like tents up. Some of them are like wooden structures that have like a little, like I picture like a lemonade stand with just something to cover the desk, so to speak. There's also like the college graduation celebration, kind of those like tents that sit like a 4-person table with goods put underneath of them, so to speak. Bunch of different things like that.
So I'm looking for a tent with no cover that has umbrellas. So something that looks like it should be like a tent, but that might not have like a top would be.
Okay. Give me let me take a look at slides here, see what applicable stat. Thinking towards streetwise.
Investigation, maybe?
Investigation might be a good one too. Give me a perception check first. Yeah.
Okay. That I can do.
And then I'm going to have you give me an investigation check as well afterward.
3 advantage. I am just stimulated from all
Alright.
of these, so many people. Used to quiet woods.
Now give me the investigation check.
Okay. 3 advantage.
Oh my goodness.
I have never seen a tent before.
So looking around, you can't find a stand with no cover or a tent with no cover.
Okay.
And it's getting into the evening.
Artie, do you see anything that could be like a tent with no cover? I'm very confused by this concept.
Roll 1 boost die.
On the same check?
Just roll 1 boost die.
Oh, just 1 boost die. Okay. I got a success and an advantage.
Okay. He goes, I'm thinking, I've looked around and there is no tentless stand other than a few folks selling fruits and whatnot. But
Okay.
I don't, a tent with no cover is not a tent at all. Maybe maybe we focus on the umbrellas? I don't know.
Excuse me, and I just walk up to like the closest merchant next to me.
Okay.
Do you know if anyone's selling umbrellas? I'm worried about raining later.
There's no rain in the forecast, this dwarf mentions, but
I can feel it.
If you're looking for hats, I happen to know my good boy Johnny Comstock over there sells the greatest hats. They have got this style they call Western, well, it billows out, you see, and it's great for if you're trying to keep the sun off of you.
I
kind of looks at your antlers.
I pointedly have like my horns, right, and like umbrellas are better suited for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You know, there's a couple of folks that sell. There's one person that sells umbrellas that I know. They call them parasols or something like that. Keep the sun at bay.
Clever.
That's just down. If you go and look towards, there's a tent on the far end. Big red canvas. They should be able to hook you up.
Okay. Cool. And so I head on over there, and it has a cover.
Yeah, it's got a big red cover.
Like, so I'm gonna walk up, right? And I'm gonna do it like this. Hi. We're here to rent an umbrella for 2.
He kind of looks at you. There's a woman there with wispy eyebrows that kind of go up. She kind of looks at you. You're looking to rent an umbrella. You understand, honey, that we're really not in the renting business. You're gonna hand it back to me all soiled.
I'm gonna try to like read both of them. See if any of them are like smelling what I'm stepping in.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a investigation interpretation check.
I got 1 success, 1 advantage.
You suck.
Yes, I do.
You're like so not used to dealing with people in this sort of context.
Then my acting is perfect.
Yeah. Goes, honey, are you all right? Is that guy bothering you?
What? Oh, you know what? We're fine. We're fine. Well, thank you. Have a lovely evening. And I just like awkwardly get on out of there. Okay. Well, I kind of liked the hanging the stick idea the most. Anyway, it sounded like the most fun. Glad we just wasted some of that time. Like, just, like she's just getting grumpy. But it's fine. I like sticks. And I just like start storming off to the outside.
All right. So it takes you a good part of the evening to get out towards, 45 minutes or so to get out towards the perimeter of town. Are you going to be on the inside or the outside?
It's along the outer walls.
Yeah, but the inside of the outer walls or the outside of the outer walls?
No, I know, but I think Emery would go to the outside of them.
Okay.
But maybe could she do an interpretation test to see if that makes sense?
Yeah, sure. Give me a knowledge people check.
Well, then did I know things? 2 and 3.
Yeah. So you'd know is that there's certain areas that would not be accessible for the wall on the interior, but the exterior would be pretty easy, especially when they keep a bit of a clearing just so that way people can't just sneak right up to the wall, so to speak, for the most part, right? So
Right. Okay.
Okay, and you're gonna grab a stick and running along the columns, huh?
Until I get a couple that feel hollow.
Can you roll me a D? Roll me a D4.
There is. Okay.
Yep.
1.
So you start along them. They're thick iron, size of my torso, right? About an hour goes by before you hear
Artie, that's finally it. I can't believe it.
Yes. This is exciting.
Okay.
Finally, a lead.
And I tap each of them again to try to get the, high, low, mid, right? Make sure.
Ting, ting, tung.
Okay.
Tung.
Okay.
So it's you can clearly tell which one's the high low and which one's the low one. It goes high. So it goes high, low, medium, from left to right.
Okay. Yeah. So I do the. Oh, wait. First, we need to write something down. First, we got to write it down. Okay. And I pull out a little piece of paper.
Okay.
I pull out a pen.
Okay.
I hold it up on one of those posts, and I start writing away.
Okay.
And not so great handwriting, but it's fine. It's fine.
What language? Common?
I'll put common.
Okay.
Because I feel like common is the way to go here. And so I know I was supposed to, write down a favor and our description. So my favor is going to be hoping to speak with a male Leonin to gather some information. Let me think for a second. On a scumbag called no. We're gonna say that. And then put our description, and then draw little pictures.
Oh yeah.
Because I wasn't sure that description really got it quick enough. But the pictures aren't great. They're very stick figure,
I'm picturing kitty cat face, like the classic anime sticker or whatever for cute kitties.
Yeah, I did a chibi, yeah. And and then I kind of this is us. Yep. Thank you! Exclamation point! Exclamation point!
Oh, so you describe yourself and then you draw yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Not the Leonin and the sky.
No, me and Art.
Gotcha, got it. Okay.
Yeah, and then I do little hearts at the bottoms of the exclamation point dots.
Okay.
I fold that up nice and I play, the beat. High, low, low, high, low, low.
Okay.
Which I think is what you said.
Okay. What do you next?
And then pull down the middle one.
So you grab the middle post, so the one that goes the lowest noise.
Yeah. Does that one shift?
It doesn't budge.
Okay.
Actually,
I pull the middle.
When you pull it, it kind of has a little bit of a give, more than you would expect from a solid iron post, but it doesn't it's almost like it rattles.
Okay, then I try to pull the mid sound one.
Middle sounding one. Okay.
Yeah.
Give me either a coordination check or a vigilance check. Let me know which one you're going to do.
Coordination or vigilance? Yeah, I'll do vigilance. 2. Success. 0 advantage.
Okay. So as you pull it, before you have a chance to respond, you see a glint of light down into the, into the shaft, so to speak, and something shoots straight out of it into your face.
Oh god.
You take 8 soakable damage and suffer poison 1 average.
Ow! It was a mean trap.
Yeah, as a bolt is sticking out of your cheekbone.
Oh my god. Ugh. So rude. And I stuffed the letter down.
Okay. You stuff the letter down into the thing. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Archer looks at you. Oh, are you okay? And you feel that it starts to permeate into your neck. Take 1 damage.
Yeah, and I just pull it out.
Actually, give me a resilience check. So you get to do the resilience check before you take the damage.
Yeah. Resilience. 1 and 2.
All right, so you take that damage.
Yeah, and then I pull it out.
Yep.
Whether or not that's the right smart thing to do.
Okay.
That was terrible. Ugh, people are so rude.
I don't know why they would do that. Maybe we're in the wrong place.
Maybe a warning, and I try to pull on the mid one again, more.
Clinkety clinkety. Nothing happens.
Okay. God, these guys are kind of jerks. He was right about it being kind of dangerous. I'm gonna try to ask Art do you have anything you can do about this? Burns.
Yeah, so he's gonna...
I feel funny.
Let's go down to our check. Restore. Okay. Can you roll me 3 yellow dice?
3 yellow?
Yes.
You got a triumph and 2 advantage.
A triumph and 2 advantage. Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay. You can heal 2 damage and remove a status effect from which they are suffering with the 2 advantage. So there you go.
Thank you.
So he looks at you as you guys are standing out there, and he kind of puts his hand up towards your cheek, and you see the poison starts to come slowly out of your hand, out of your face, and it starts to knit back a little bit.
And I get nauseous.
Yeah, right? And then you see a bird just fall out of the sky and land right next to you guys.
Oh, did you do that?
I mean, it's gotta go somewhere. He kind of looks down at it and grabs it. I don't think the poison will hurt my stomach.
Had I known that would happen, I don't know that I would have done that.
The world keeps spinning. Have you ever thought about where your rations come from and how to, when you kill the blades of grass to make your salad, what comes from that?
No. And she just looks haunted. I'm just kind of oh. Sudden guilt just overtaking her.
Well, what do we do now?
They didn't really give instructions past that.
I don't know.
Did you want to take a 10-minute break since it's 7:30 and it gives you a chance to think on it?
Sure.
Okie doke. We'll be back in 10 minutes, everybody. Thanks and stay tuned. And we're back. All right. So, we left off with Emery, dazed and confused a little bit, seeming to be stumped in all directions, and a little sore from her last endeavor.
Yeah, that's for sure.
It is about 6 o'clock in Holdenford and that world of dwelling. What are you doing?
How close is the forest from where we currently are?
Say you could hike into the forest about 40 minutes, given where you are on the rotation of the city.
Okay. So I know we gave our description and then said to wait in a public place. So I don't think, like, part of me wants to go there and do something for my brother right now, but part of me wants to follow through on the wait in a public place scenario. So we are going to go back in town and head over to Bertrand's salon.
Okay, so you're going to Bertrand's salon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bertrand's salon is open for business, and when you walk in, you do notice that Osaya is there, as well as the dwarf Dietrich that you met earlier.
Okay.
And then some new unfamiliar faces. Guys milling about, having smoke.
Alright,
There are 3 other dwarves here. Demographic is largely dwarfish in comparison to the population outside.
good evening, how's it going? I, go over to Diedrich again.
Ah, well, isn't a sight for sore eyes, pretty lass. It's not a bad day.
You come here often?
Definitely for, after, evening pick-me-up, for sure. Gertrude has all of the best dwarfish herb.
Oh, well that's very cool, very neat. What is it that you do?
I'm a trader.
A trader.
Yes, as a matter of fact. Caligure, enchantments are
Fine dwarven crafts.
Yeah, right? Yeah, Caligure enchantments are the best in the world. And it just so happens that we can make some of the items that are vital to Holdenford's success just across the crystal cairn.
Oh, really? That's so cool.
Indeed.
I kind of sit down next to him. Have you been in the city long?
I've been around for about a twillet or so, but you know, me personally, I've had business in the city over 20 years.
Quick question for you.
Mm-hmm.
What was Bertrand? Is he like, is he a dwarf? Or is he, like, what race is he?
Gertrude?
Bertrand. Like the owner?
That's Gertrude.
Gertrude. Man, I have been wrong about this all along.
Gertrude is a gnoll. And you remember that him and Osaya were talking about, you know, gnoll stuff.
Yeah. Alright. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure of something before I asked. I have a question. And don't take this the wrong way. I heard this phrase, like this group of people, and like I had never heard of them before. I'm not from around here. I didn't know if maybe you knew anything about them. They're called the Hounds of Reclamation.
The Hounds of Reclamation. Ooh, sounds like a boogeyman. This place is full of them.
That's for sure.
I've heard rumors recently, very recent. Some of my clientele, as a matter of fact, have been shaken in their boots, so to speak, worried about some of the goings-on recently. The rash of crime attributed to some hounds of another. Probably these reclamation sorts you've been speaking of.
Huh. Like what clientele? Like anybody?
Restless.
Restless?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, yeah.
Afraid of? I don't see how it relates necessarily to you and your compatriot over there, unless I'm sorely mistaken. I don't mean to intrude.
No, they just didn't seem like the nicest sort, you know?
You met the hounds.
I haven't met them, just heard about them.
Oh, they seemed like... Okay, gotcha. The stories. Yeah. Absolutely. Brigands come of all colors.
Yeah. And I was hearing this story about this guy named Nella. Did you hear him?
Nellet?
Yeah. Awful dude.
Can't say that I have. Fortunately, I try to keep my head down a little bit when it comes to keeping tabs on all the unsavory types. That stuff can drive you down. Drive you straight into the mud.
True that. Very true. Very true. Huh. Let me think for a second. Do you, Sorry, I'm just trying to get myself situated in this new town.
I've never turned down good conversation. Don't worry, lass. And he starts playing with he's got an eyebrow ring that he's just twisting.
I've heard there's like a, sort of like an underground element here. She says, like she's super cool. I don't know if you've heard of that. Being in like the market business and all.
Yeah. As traders, we gotta know about these sorts of things. Make sure that we don't step on too many hands and know what the common practice is and how much coin we can expect to lose on our trades. I think they call themselves the tailors in town, and on behalf of their, they got a leader, the Harlequin Pincushion. I think once she started roaming around, the name started to stick. She called her minions, these tailors. They drove out the older thieves' guilds, as a matter of fact. But that was 50 years ago.
50 years? And Harlequin's been at the top this entire time?
I try not to deal with them too much, but that's what they say. Harlequin Pincushion, she runs the underworld.
Do they say where we can talk to a fine, established lash like that?
You want to talk to the Harlequin Pincushion? My, you are either, I don't mean this, I mean no offense, but, actually, you know what? I'll still the tongue. Maybe I suggest that you aim a bit lower on the tree there. That's an awful lot to get yourself fixed up in when you come into town, especially on a twilight day the way you did. I'd hate for you to be chasing danger when it seems to follow.
I'll be honest, we are kind of just stumbling through this. You're probably right. I don't need to necessarily, talk to her. I just... Sounds kind of neat, you know? Just hoping to talk to somebody from the Thieves Guild.
Yeah, well... What's a lass like you have to be dealing with the thieves anyways?
Well, you know how yesterday they were saying all sorts of things about a boat trip costing money?
Mm-hmm.
I think you could probably tell from looking at me that I don't have much in the way of that.
Well, I would never seem to judge a book by its cover, but if you're saying that you're low on coin, you know, the thieves are thieves. I'm not sure how much coin there's to be had there. And if you're looking for employment with them, and you're not familiar with this land, they'll hang you for that sort of stuff, just so you know. Or they'll cut off your hands.
Oh. I see.
Yeah, around here, people's property is mighty important to them.
I was just hoping they had some information for me.
Oh, you're looking for information. I'm sure there's safer ways of doing it.
I'm gonna try to get like a read on him. If that's
Okay.
alright.
Okay, so you're going to give me an interpretation check on him. Now, what specifically are you getting a read on?
I want to get a read on how he feels about the Thieves Guild. Or the Tailors.
Okay.
Like if he's pro or against. Before I
Yep.
answer.
Excellent.
1 and 2.
Every dog has their day. So it's pretty straightforward as a trader. This guy doesn't like thieves, but it sounds like he understands them as like an accepted evil of the world, right? Like if you're gonna be a sailor, you're not mad at sharks. You just know that they're there. Doesn't mean you have to like them.
Okay, so she could like scoots in a little closer. She's like, look, I'm gonna tell you something. If you could just keep it quiet, you know?
And so you leaned in closer, so you're trying to not be. You're
Yeah.
trying to be a little bit stealthy, not like
Yeah.
just blare
Yeah.
out stuff to everyone. Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to be quiet. They got information I need for a job that I got with, you know, the higher ups. Well, I'm hoping good guys.
Give me a stealth check.
Stealth is definitely what I'm good at. 1 and 2.
Okay. You may continue.
Okay. Well, that was like what she was gonna say. It's just so I'm hoping to talk to them to chase down like a lead.
Okay. I do not consort with thieves. I'm sorry, but I don't have information on that for you, darling.
Okay. Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Now, if I ever, do stumble across someone trying to cut my purse, so to speak, and I grab his wrist, I'll haul him past you on my way to the stocks. How does that sound?
I mean, I suppose that might work. I mean, might get a little tricky.
This world is tricky, am I right? Always
You're
something
right.
out there to get you.
And I was hearing all these things about all sorts of restless going missing or things along those lines.
Mm-hmm.
You been hearing that?
I have these darn hounds by the sounds of it. Unless it's just a rash of crime.
So you were hearing it was the hounds too, huh?
Oh, yes, the hounds. A lot of people, a lot of restless, fearing for their life and limb.
Yeah, not a way to live. I can understand that.
Especially when some of the ones that being preyed upon are already tortured souls. I've never heard of a ghost going missing, but apparently that's a thing these days.
I don't even know how you really do that. Do you know? Like, Art, do you know?
Maybe you just, console it and put it at ease. Maybe it's a good thing.
Art, what do you think? You know more about this kind of stuff than me.
Yes, it can be. Spirits are of the potentia, and they can be consumed. just like materials to a flame. It is potential, but even you are now familiar with the lucidity of souls and the corporeal and the tangible nature that they can sometimes manifest to. There are laws that they can be bound by that defy what we understand of this world, but yet do not keep us from being able to manipulate them.
All right.
It's probably about 7.
Yeah. Trying to think if anybody else in the bar would be worth asking. Yeah, why not the bartender?
Oh, well, this is a smokehouse.
Well, yeah,
You can talk to Gertrude.
the equivalent. Hey, Gertrude, how's it going today? How's business?
Well, I'd say it's on fire.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, things are doing all right in this town. And I gotta say, every now and then it gets a bit on the rocks, but I got a squirrel fund.
Ah. Very smart, very prudent of you.
Why is it that they call a squirrel fund? Do you know?
Oh, well, squirrels just love to keep things. We used to live with a few, me and my brother, and they squirrel away nuts and berries and whatever they could get their hands on.
Is that right?
They'd hide it all over the place.
When I see a squirrel, I usually just lose my mind and just start barking.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that does make sense. They're actually very nice, very fun, very friendly.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah. Anyway, I was just wondering, you seem like maybe lots of word passes through this way. And I've been hearing all sorts of stuff about these hounds of reclamation. Have you heard of them?
Some folks come in here to seek a little bit of peace and quiet, and I've heard mumblings of it, but I try not to get too involved with that stuff. This place is a bit of a sanctuary.
A sanctuary?
A sanctuary for the mind, and what have you. People try to get away from the stresses of the world and kind of unplug, so to speak.
Yeah. I was just, where those stresses of the mind are. If this is where they go to, release those stresses, where would you find things like that?
I'm sorry, I can't. Are you asking me where thoughts go when they're thunk?
Well, that is an interesting question, but no, I guess I'm just trying to figure out more about these hounds of reclamation. They sound like
Well, you could certainly, there is a cemetery out on the bounds of town that, as a matter of fact, houses some of the, some of the undertakers. Now, it sounds to me like they all kind of got similar inclinations, worshipping Black Phillip and all. So that might be worth taking a look into. But I don't know if they got much of a big following in this area anymore.
Why is that? Just because, death doesn't seem to mean what it used to mean?
Something along those lines. And, they're very, from what I know, they're much revered in other areas. But around here, it's kind of seemed to put themselves at odds with the majority, right? So they allocate out there because they have sanctified ground, but I don't get involved. Personally, I'm not one of those folks that get all up involved with higher powers or anything like that. I'm much more about the tangibles here. And the fact that someone can take this herb and smoke it and not even have to eat on a day, Now that's about as esoteric as I get.
I hear ya. Sometimes just live the simple life, you know? Yeah.
Absolutely. But hey, if you're looking to get into tapping into the psyche, we have a psychological den over on the side there. Opiums, mushrooms, the like. If you needed to, really open up a channel, so to speak, you can go back there. But I don't personally imbibe. I've got helpers who go back and assure that those folks are being attended to.
Boy, Artie, does that sound like it would be a good idea for, seeing Ollie?
As a matter of fact, it might help.
I don't see what could possibly go wrong. As long as those mushrooms are ethically sourced.
Right.
Sorry.
Oh, good stuff.
I 1 second. I don't know how much that'd run me though.
Well, if you're looking for just enough for the evening, you're looking at 10 silver.
10
Just for
silver.
you, right?
Well, yeah, would that, give me a cushion to stay on, or?
Oh,
The night?
that's really only a thing that we do on Twillets, just because of the extra increase in income here, and kind of looking out for folks as a public reputation sort of thing. We don't. You can get rooms somewhere else for the evening, but you're safe here. I mean, you depending on how much you take, you could be here up to midnight still with the experience, so to speak. We're not going to boot you out when the clock strikes 10, so to speak.
Okay, sure, yeah.
But if you want to continue for the rest of the night, I'm gonna need you to still be a paying customer.
No, that makes complete sense. I'm gonna pull Artie aside for a second. Like, do you think that's worth it, Art? Or
I'm gonna tell you now, it's really hard to understand and conceptualize a spirit in the Potentia. This could help you unlock the fifth dimension of the mind, so to speak, and be able to conceptualize this in a better way.
now, you had said we'd have to go to the forest before, but
All there's
Would it
supplies
work
that we
here?
would need in order to be able to ritual cast some sort of construct that your brother could temporarily be in here. But if you're looking to be able to reach out and connect with your brother, which is a vital portion of the ritual, that might be a good step. Is just getting practice on talking to your brother and bringing him closer to you, because that's exactly what's going to need to be already well in place before you tried to animate something with his substance.
Archuk, I could already feel him slipping away. You know what? 10 silver's worth the price. I fork it up and I go to the back room to do some drugs.
Okay. All right. So, he gives you what looks to be like little. I don't even almost like a. What's that stuff that's? It's like almost like a foam or whatever, like a.
Oh, yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
smartphone, but it's they're spheres, like tiny little spheres, like porous, spongy spheres of moss.
Yeah.
And he gives you a couple of them, and he goes, "Now, do you have a pipe?"
Unless I happen to have one in my hair. But probably not.
Do you have a survival kit and stuff
I have
like
a
that?
survivor
You know what?
toolkit.
Roll a D. Roll me a D4, and a 3 or 4 is you have a pipe.
3!
All right, so you happen to have a pipe.
Alright. Which makes sense. I mean, of course it will run, you know.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't my first time smoking mushrooms.
Right. Well, and in this world too, like I was mentioning with the dwarves actually smoke some substances and actually get a caloric, nutritious value from it too. Granted, you don't necessarily have the system for that, but okay. So you pack the pipe and you smoke it, and you chill
Lean
out,
back.
right? And the experience that you have, what are you thinking of? Like, what's going through your mind when you do this?
I'm trying to like bring myself back to our home that we had together, basically.
Okay.
And all the memories that we had with that, you know.
Yep.
I'm trying to almost like build our house in my head, you know.
Yeah. You see it like fall into place. Tree.
Yeah.
And then a squirrel. It's chestnut. Sorry, it's walnut.
Walnut,
Extra
yes.
fat, and he like goes to climb down and like falls off of you and like skitters over to the door, so to speak. And as you build up this space, where do you go from there?
This time I'm gonna try to like telepathically reach out to Ollie, like
Okay.
without calling out, like see if I can feel him, you know.
Okay. Give me 5 memories of him to activate each sense. Not like it's distinct. Like describe him with your 5 senses in some way, shape, or form,
Okay.
using memories, etc.
Okay. Yeah. So remembering the seafoam green of his eyes, the smell of his favorite flower, which is actually a thistle. Okay, so I got sight and smell.
Yep, and try to connect it to his personality. So you got favorite flower, right?
Mhm.
From that, yep.
Yeah, like his eyes, right? Does that work?
Okay, maybe like some sort of expression of like what he'd
Yeah.
be.
His eyes crinkling after she tells a joke, you know.
Okay.
So I got smell. The sound of his laughter. How about? What do you think? The feel of like hands in the dirt as we were planting flowers together,
Okay.
and our garden and stuff together. Taste of fresh blackberries in the fall from our harvesting. So we walked around the woods together. What am I missing?
So you got smell, taste. Do you touch?
I had touch.
Sound?
Or wait, I didn't have touch yet.
I think it had soil.
Soil, yep.
Do you have
Sound was the sound of his laughter.
Okay, so sound, sight, taste, touch. I don't know.
I think I got them all.
Yeah. Okay. So, rolling through these, you feel him. You feel his presence. Entirely. It's not something that you don't necessarily need to see him in a makeshift world for him to be there. And suddenly that you get that all of a sudden, right?
Mm-hmm.
Seeing isn't believing. Believing isn't reality. But connection and reality can be one and the same. You feel him. And you feel his emotions as they currently are. It shifts. And you sense his confusion and his sadness, his pain. And you sense his joy at your presence. And his hope. And his nostalgia comes. And suddenly you realize what it really means to connect. And just at that moment, slips from your grasps again as the high goes away. And it leaves you feeling a little bit empty. But you know, you could recreate this if you just hit this moss one more time.
Ugh. Hit that moss. I don't have enough money to do that.
Gotta get that moss. You could probably go find some moss, right?
I could go get some moss. I'm sure I could.
Material components for your casting!
Right? Yeah, dude. Alright. Tripped on some moss. Alright. 10-4. Alright, so it's like midnight. I'm coming out of my stupor. Stumbling out into the street.
Okay. As you guys... Where are you going? Archer, did it work?
I could feel him. It was different than before. But he was there. We were almost connected, you know? Our souls.
Good. Good. This is exactly what you need. It's what Oliver needs. Where are you walking at this point?
Need to find a place to crash. Someplace to sleep. I don't feel rested. God, I'm so tired.
You would have seen a place as you were wandering around that day, to the market, the square. You could have been able to find an inn easily. There's one a couple blocks away called the Cotton Cottage.
Okay, that sounds very nice.
It's pretty late, and there's nary a soul about. And as you're walking, you try to make your way there, and you're not familiar. Give me a streetwise check.
I was gonna say, you can give me, like, you can make it harder, because I don't know the city at all if you want. But, hey, that's 3 success and 2 advantage. Been here all of over 24 hours.
Yeah, you figure out where it is. Like, you're like, it's this way, right? And so you start heading over.
Yeah,
And
just follow my moss senses, and they guide me.
as you double check to make sure you're going in the right direction, you notice that the lamps behind you have been going out.
Oh.
The street lamps.
Archuk, are you doing that?
Doing what?
That. And I kind of like point up to the lines.
Oh, that looks different. Is it? It's darker, isn't it?
You're not like pulling that like you with the candles?
No, I can't. I typically can't do that.
I look around.
And you notice that the lights ahead, about 6 street lamps down, a street lamp is out. Give me a perception check.
2 and 1.
You see it that the 6 ahead is out, and then looking that way, the next one closer to you goes out.
You start looking around. Like, is there anybody else on the streets?
Not that you can see.
And I start moving quicker towards the cottage.
Okay. As you start moving forward, the light behind the 2 that are out goes out. So you're still in the light, but you're running towards an area of darkness.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Do you go into the darkness?
I pause before the darkness and I look into it. Is it normal darkness or does it look darker than dark? You know.
It's normal darkness.
Okay. How far is the inn?
The inn is probably 3 blocks away.
Okay.
It's like one more down, and 2 to the left, so to speak.
We should move quick. And I grab his hand and I start to go quick.
Okay. Give me a coordination check.
1 and 2. Why do I feel like every single one of these tests I should just be failing because I had that lost?
Right? So you start moving when you feel a push from the side, and you go to move your foot, and as you go to plant your foot, you go straight into an emptiness.
What?
And as your foot plummets into an emptiness, your other foot kind of curls up, and you slip and fall down into this little area. And you know what? I will allow Archek to do a strength check, an athletics check to try to hold on to you. Can you roll 2 green dice for me, please?
That'd be a no.
Yeah?
2 advantage, no success.
Okay, then he falls in with you.
Yeah, it does.
And you hear, as you guys fall, you hit water. And you hear up above.
Oh no.
It's sewer grate.
No. I'm gonna try to get my torch out.
Okay.
And light it.
Okay. As you slowly starts to try to flicker and get this thing lit, you see other torches appear on both sides. And a figure on each side, hood over, with holding the torch.
Sorry, fell in here by accident and starting to look for the ladder up.
Looking up, you can see that the
On
rungs.
our way.
You can see some of the rungs. Some of them are missing, and some of them they've crumbled off or something like that. But there are still several there, and you hear them go. Someone's been making a lot of noise around town.
Oh, someone. Do you mean me?
Maybe. Have you been barking about?
Maybe. Who's asking?
I don't think it's us that have been doing the asking.
Trying to see who's speaking.
The fact of the matter is that I've found a couple of hedgehogs down the way. Isn't that right, friend? You hear the other one. Yes, that is right. We do have a pair of hedgehogs stored safely nearby. Ow! And the other one goes, ow, ow!
Oh, I get it now. These were bad tips. And here we just wanted to, learn some new stuff.
Well, you're learning now, aren't you? Little woodland girl.
I don't understand. Who are you?
Now, is that really what you want to spend your time asking? Who we are?
Well, normally when I start talking, that's the best way to get off on the right foot.
I'm Emery. What's your name?
Oh, see, we don't give those things out for free. Names are a powerful thing, especially in a city of the dead. But thank you for yours. We'll take it as insurance.
Oh. So that wasn't a good idea then. I'm trying to get a look at them.
Give me a perception check.
Shara, stop it.
She's so dedicated.
1 and 3.
You looking over at them, you can't make out any particular details, but the fact that they are so well hidden makes you, that at least gives you encouragement that you've potentially rolled in along someone who knows what they're doing.
Fair. Okay. Is my torch lit?
Yes.
Okay. Kind of like holding it out, like, kind of like the stay back, you know. We didn't mean anything. No harm. We're just we were just wanted to ask some questions, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we did find a male Leonin if you wanted to speak with him.
There was one in particular we were wanting to talk to.
Oh, one in particular. But that's not what the note said. We found a male Leonin. He's gagged in the back room. He's ready to go. We did this for you.
What?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Yeah, no, there's a gentleman. Based off your requests, gagged and bound in the other room, waiting to answer questions for you. Oh, here's some good advice, some good info. Nellet. We found a Nellet who's a scumbag. Guess what? He's dead.
I'd heard that, and that I was wondering if that male Leonin you have tied up back there had anything to do with that?
Oh, you could ask him, but that might be a big coincidence. So we just grabbed one off the street.
Are you guys the Taylors? You were. I heard the howls. Are you the hounds?
Now that's gonna cost you. Are you ready to pay?
I don't have much money.
Unfortunate. Maybe you save your questions and get to the heart of your desires. Make it worth every dollar, every last bit of silver. Because we're already keeping a tally. We've done you 2 favors as far as we can say. We've satisfied the letter of your note.
I'm gonna take a nervous step forward, and try to see if I can see any of them under the cloak.
Okay. Give me a perception check.
I'm so scared right now. A triumph and a success. So that's technically a triumph and 2 success.
And you can spend the triumph for a third success.
If I need to, sure.
Okay. Looking over at this figure, you see a clean-shaven, tanned, like Mediterranean tanned chin with a sharp nose and a big smile with the light reflecting off of the teeth, and that's about what you can see from there. The clothes look to be well made, but of vague color, like browns and dark forest greens, and of a vague cut. It looks about as normal as you could, but you do see a glint off of a couple pieces of him, whether it be buckles or whatnot. He definitely has metal on him. What's concealed on his body, you do not know. He also appears to have some rings on his finger catching the light. Nondescript, simple bands, but look well made.
I'm sorry. I'd just like to leave.
You'd like to leave, but...
And I back off towards like the...
You're going to go after all that work.
It wasn't what I meant by the letter. I just wanted to start a conversation, and that, like, normally with business, how it normally you meet face to face, you kind of say what you need, someone says they can give you this and for a certain amount, and that's kind of what it goes down to. It's not this isn't quite, this is different.
But if you want to meet anyone further up the chain, we're going to need assurances.
Someone further up
the chain?
What do you mean?
I am merely a finger to the hands. I can deal with some information, but I need coin up front.
Who said anything
My
about...
dearest sister wouldn't trust me with more detailed things. The other person goes, indeed, he's just a finger, and so am I. We are but humble servants to our mistress, the seamstress, the harlequin. If you would like to deal in bigger fish, then you can come to the table. But we will need assurances.
Who said anything about me wanting to speak to anyone up the chain? I just said I wanted to leave. Like, I'm like connecting the dots, like that I asked for that from a different person than them.
Of what?
I asked about meeting Harlequin from, like, at Sebastian's, not here.
Oh, to be clear, you just asked to have sit down and have a conversation.
Okay.
They're simply saying, we've got a menu here of things to talk about, scripts, so to speak. If you want a big old dialogue of this, that, and the other,
okay,
like, you're either going to need to go and pay to play, or you can spend money here for a list of services, but make your questions very specific, because we're going to charge you by the question, so to speak.
I don't know that I can pay.
You came to the table with no chips. Well, certainly you could find a backer. Certainly you have resources to leverage. We don't need money. We trade in all sorts of goods.
What does that mean?
Favors, information, material goods. Those are all valuable to us.
Oh, I have this book of smut.
Oh, I have this book of smut. Nice.
And an adventurous tale. 13 silver. A backpack. For some reason, I don't think any of these are very alluring to this man. Maybe the Book of Smut. That was my best deal. Just
Keep in mind,
I know what you're saying. I'm just being
yeah.
being a sassafras.
Absolutely.
But you can. Sorry. Keep in mind what?
Nah. You can spend a story point for me to finish that statement.
Ooh. I want you to spend those so you have them all to yourself. Right now we got them even.
No.
I don't have anything on me per se, but if I was looking for information on who killed Nellet, or information on the hounds of reclamation, how much would things like that cost me?
Oh. That's probably above your pay grade. But if you're playing with someone else's chips, I'm sure we can come to a deal. Now, we don't hand out information on other clients. But if you give us your motives and agendas and your end goals, I'm sure we can find a way to give you something valuable to get you where you need to go. We would hate to leave customers unsatisfied after all.
Okay. But if you can't give me everything that I'm asking for, and you're saying that you'll only be able to give me some, that sounds like it wouldn't be quite as much silver or gold then either, doesn't it?
I had no intentions of collecting silver or gold. And you are right. To be given less than one's desires means that one should not pay so dearly. But one's desires are not always formulated by the questions one asks, now are they?
Suppose not.
Who do you work for? And what do they want?
Can it? Let me think. If I give you, that's me giving you information, right? So this is a bit of a give and take. I trade some information, I get some back.
And suddenly we are playing the game. Of course. What would you trade for the information we seek, knowing that we need to know who you are and what you want to give you what you need? Surely that isn't a steep price. That is just an entry fee. Now you know who we work for, and we gave that to you.
so scared. All right, so here's my thought here. Okay, out of character. These thieves guild are as creepy and smart as they seem like they are. They probably would be able to figure out who I work for anyway. If they did some digging. So I don't want to lie to them, especially because I'm terrible at lying. And I feel trapped and scared. I'm just hoping that if I'm honest with them, that they don't kill me. So let's try.
Give me a vigilance check.
That'd be 3 advantage.
Okay.
Didn't get anything with that, did I?
No. That was a side thing. Go ahead. Proceed.
Okay. Look, I'm new to this town. I'm just trying to get by, just trying to move along, and I'm sure it comes as no surprise to you that the Iron Cathedral was trying to learn some things. Just trying to gather some information.
Of course.
About ongoing cases and potential threats.
That's
all.
Only fair. That's what a sound government should be doing, looking after their people. Well, my little iron bone, what is it that you've come here for, then? You want to stop the hounds of reclamation, don't you?
I didn't say we were going quite that far. I'm just trying to find out more about them, honestly.
So that way you can play patty cake. So you can go and ride Uldrain together. Or count the bands of Bojidar.
No, I mean, but I don't think I don't know if I'd be the one to stop. I just, God, you're scary.
It's not
She
you
just-
we're talking to, and it's not you who's talking. Remember yourself. You're an iron bone, representative of Vigor Mortis, champion of the people. And you see a little bit of gold in his teeth from the fire there. And the woman speaks up, goes, "Yeah, we would never hurt a champion of the people without good reason. You're in good hands, and the Iron Cathedral's pockets are deep. Why would we bite the hand that feeds? Yum, yum, yum."
So scared. Okay. Well, I told you who I work for and what I'm looking for.
There we go. Tell you what, we can point you in the right direction. From there, it'll be up for you to follow it along and catch yourself a dog. But it'll cost you. Or it won't cost you, little iron bone. The cathedral's gonna have to trade.
Okay. What?
Now that is above my pay grade. But you can wait with my sister here, and I can be back. Or we can take you to the seamstress herself. But I'm gonna need a cut of hair, and you might have to put this bag on. So sorry.
Cut of hair. Can I do a test figure out why they would need that. Like, sounds like a magic thing. You know? Like, so
yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
like,
Give me a knowledge dark check.
Yeah. Like, what could they possibly need to do? Oops. No, 3 and 3.
Yeah, it's used in certain spells. It's not necessarily malicious, but dealing with these sorts, it's an assurance, right? So they could either use it to blow you up, or something that's just as effective, like a tracking spell, right? Because if they're the Thieves Guild and they can track you and they don't like you and they want to kill you, you're as good as dead. So regardless, it is an assurance to them, which is a liability for you.
Right. So are they saying that no matter what they're doing that?
No, they're saying one of them saying I can go and talk to the boss. And you wait here.
Yeah. We'll be fine here. That's fine.
Very well. And one of them turns to walk away.
Start fiddling with my braid, you know.
Okay. Give me a discipline or a cool check as the time ticks on.
Alright, and I'm trying to make painful small talk with this chick. Like think Minnesota on an elevator. Or Minnesotan on an elevator, okay?
As you...
To advantage.
So you go to talk to her, right? And as you do, you look over at her, and she looks over at you, and all you can see is, like, the cheekbone smile here. And she... what's the opposite? Down turns her torch and puts it out in the water, cloaking herself in pitch black. Don't move. Everywhere is this potential for another dart. And you hear psh, psh, as she slowly backs up in the water.
I just nervous farted, you know. Okay. Art, I really don't like this. Does Art not respond to me?
Oh, sorry. I was waiting for you to continue.
No,
Art's
I was like, is Art not there?
No. Art goes, I mean, at least there's not 2 people with an immediate threat of us. But I gotta be honest, I don't mind the tunnels so much. It's nice and cozy in here.
Oh, so this is fine. This is normal. This is fine.
Just focus on the babbling water.
The babbling water. How's it smell down here? Does it smell bad?
It's not bad. It's this is more of an aqueduct than it is a sewer.
All right. Fine. Great. That's great. Obviously, she's super nervous in this entire time she's waiting.
Oh yeah, also suffer a strain from
It's been a
the
long
anxiety,
night.
right? What are you at?
11 of 13.
Nice.
I'm gonna pass out if they scare me anymore.
Right? You're gonna faint. Okay. What seems like forever goes by before you hear, and the water seems to rise a little bit.
I have my torch still lit. As long as it's been a long enough time.
Yeah.
Do I see anything?
The water rises a little bit. Like some of the water picks up speed in here.
Okay, and is it like on my boots at this? Like, am I?
Yeah, it's still calf. Like it's about knee deep now, instead of being like just over ankle deep.
Does it feel like it's gonna start pulling me?
You know, you kind of gotta like 3-point stance, so to speak. You know, like angle,
Okay.
posture your feet.
All right,
So to
I am
speak,
terrified to get shot by another dart from this chick, so I'm kind of holding my ground, but like nervous about the water getting higher and higher, you know. So.
Okay. Eventually, seemingly slowly, a small boat, like, smaller than any boat that would be at a fishing village. You know, like something that's just meant to just like it's like a kayak.
Okay.
Drifts towards you with one of the guys inside. And he's got a small pole, like an oar, but it's more of a
Yeah, he's
pole.
pushing on the bottom. Yeah.
And as he pulls up, he kind of stops himself with the pole and gets off. And he takes basically there's like a loop of rope from it that he holds a little bit, looks down, and goes, "We have terms that we can give for a trail out of town. A valuable trail it would be for us, but we'll give it to you, and it'll lead you to your quarry."
Okay. What's the price?
The price is simply a guard rotation.
Okay.
There are 2 guards in Donjon 4, Tulip and Henri. We need them moved to the docks.
Okay.
There are 2 guards there that could be replaced by them. In fact, we insist you take these other 2 guards.
Okay, what are their names? Or
I had them written down. I was trying to... The guards at the docks that we need moved are Lars and Tibble. Lars and Tibble. Sorry, I'm trying to stay in voice, but it doesn't project very well.
yeah, thanks for speaking it. Okay. All right. I can take that back to the powers that be and see if we have a strike and accord. If I'm able to make the agreement work, how would we communicate that to you?
No, we're not gonna meet again. We need to accept terms.
I don't know if I can.
Oh.
They would have to approve it, not me.
Then I'm going to need that hair. And from your friend, any sort of scale will do. Heart Jackson, I don't have hair. It would hurt to pull a whisker.
Does he seem nervous about doing it to start?
Yes.
I don't see another way out of this art.
I'm sure the Iron Cathedral will trust you. They do want the hounds gone, right? What's a guard rotation to them?
Right.
Guards guard, and they're all guarding still, right?
Right, sure, and I'd rather have the thieves than killers. If it were me. No offense. I say to the people around.
Oh, thank you. We do appreciate being liked more than the killers. We have to look out for each other, don't we?
Sure. Yeah, so like I said, yeah, we'll strike we'll try to strike the deal. And I cut off a little section of my hair and give it to them. So here's to a new friendship.
Thank you. Artie, is it? He kind of puts it in a little bag. Artie, we need something from you too. Whatever you can peel off of that skin of yours. No offense. He goes, I can spit. Oh, that might not work so well.
Now spit.
You have an antenna or something? You hear him kind of groan. Like, we'll just take him. Just an inch. Okay.
You come back, buddy.
Kind of like does his little feelers, and one of them walks over, and they seem to have like a pair of shears, and they go,
Poor boy.
as they clip a part of his antenna.
I'm sure it'll grow back, right, bud?
I haven't clipped my antennas before, but I thought I liked them that long. It kind of looks as though they're not like symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
They go, follow the raft until you see light. And there will be your path out.
How do we find you again if we are able to strike a deal?
Oh. We'll find you. What you have tomorrow to get the deal.
Good. Yep. No, we're on a tight time frame too. I totally understand. And I just like hop right on the boat, and I'm just like, yep, no worries. We're getting right on it, and I'm just like booking it.
Don't touch the ground with the pole, please.
What? I thought. No, that's not.
Unless you want this whole deal to go tits up.
Okay.
You vaguely recall they mentioned traps all over the place.
Oh.
So they gave
fair.
you a flotational device.
To go over the trap. I gotcha now. A little slow.
Well, your character's is ingenious. Their intelligence
super
is
smart.
gigantic. So I figured, yeah, like, I'll give that to you.
Yeah,
but
thank
your
you.
character knows,
Thank you.
even though
Yeah.
you might not know. Okay, so you sail off, eventually finding a small glowstone in an aqueduct, and you hear like gates being opened and like the water going up and the water going down, and it diverts you a couple times, and eventually you find a small area with a glowstone next to a ladder which leads up to the surface. It's still dark out. At this point it's like 3 a.m.
I am so tired.
Yeah.
So tired. The nearest inn or something.
The closest inn you can find has room available for 5 silver and 2 silver for hot meals. Otherwise, you haven't eaten tonight.
No, I'm having one of my rations.
Okay, so you can heal 1 damage from that.
I'm eating some of my old corn.
You can recover all your strain, and you can do a medicine check to heal. Equal to the success.
Can Art do it on me, or?
He absolutely can.
Because it's kind of hard for me to like do it. My face is really. It's like, like this is real awkward to do yourself.
Okay. So his medicine. So he's actually gonna try to do his restore check instead, because it would be the same difficulty. Since he doesn't have a med kit. And he's got a better. He's going to try to heal you with magic. He's better at that.
Yeah.
So roll 3 greens. Sorry, 3 yellows.
3 yellows.
Yeah.
Ooh, we got another triumph. Triumph. Technically 2 success and 3 advantage.
Okay, so if you spend the triumph on another success, you have a total of 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can heal 3 more damage.
Perfect.
What are you at?
I'm fresh.
Fresh up. All right.
Fresh on both fronts.
So you guys settle down for the night, and we will start up on session 4 on the turn of the day. You got some personal quests that you want to do with, going out into the woods and doing your summon stuff. You've got, got to talk to the Iron Cathedral and meet back up with these guys. Some stuff going on. How are you sitting on money now that you spent some extra money on, room and board for the night?
I have 8 silver left.
You have 8 silver. All right. So it sounds like you got to get this done.
I could not afford even more mushrooms if I wanted. Maybe not another hotel room for the night.
Right? Getting close.
Yeah. Poor person from the woods cannot afford this city life, especially when they're not giving me a daily paycheck here, alright?
Right. Oh, also consume 1 more ration for our check unless you want him to take a damage.
Oh. Yeah, I want him to take a damage. Screw Archek, I'm still mad at him.
For eating the bird or from killing your brother?
No, for killing my brother.
That was days ago.
Yeah, that's gonna linger, dude. That ain't just I'm over it.
I hope it does. I hope that you keep building up on that complex relationship instead of just 10-second Tomet,
Nope.
So that's good stuff.
Nope, but I did give him a food because I'm not a total jerk. I need him alive for this.
Yep, that's right. All right, well, thank you everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next time for seeing what Emery's going to do to get herself out of this mess and keep moving